Expectations were very, very low for this one, were they not? So, of course, it's going to be a really terrible show, isn't it? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to these. These are going to be my WWE Payback 2013 thoughts. Although of course if there's never another Payback, it's just WWE Payback thoughts, isn't it? That's rambling, I'm rambling already. This was a really, really, really good show, wasn't it? When we went into this one, I think everyone went into this show with really, really low expectations. If you go into a show with really low expectations and it's shit, you can say, well, at least it was everything I thought it was going to be. Some people may moan that this one was very predictable, but predictable is not necessarily a bad thing. At the end of the day, if it's predictable but you're still getting good matches out of it, it's not really a reason to complain about it, is it? So, Sheamus defeating Damien Sandow on the pre-show. Why wouldn't he? Didn't watch it. Not. And then Curtis Axel defeating Wade Barrett and The Miz in our first match of the pay-per-view to win the Intercontinental Championship. Not bad, this one. Not bad at all. I mean, it was a standard. I should expect, you've got two guys fighting, one's down on the floor. That sort of thing. The crowd are quite flat, but as the match builds, they get into it more. Everything is crisp, everything is fluid. No one gets lost as far as I can tell. There's no botches. Even The Miz looks alright. Nice pump handle buster by Barrett was a personal favourite moment of mine. I love the perfect plex. That got such a big pop, which made me so chuffed. Miz traps Barrett in the figure 4, and then Curtis Axel squashes him and pins him, which I thought was really, really clever way to finish it. I just really hope, my thought with this match going forward is that both the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship recently have been a bit of a curse for whoever's holding them. They lose a lot. I really hope that this isn't the case, because now we've got Dean Ambrose holding the US title and we've got Curtis Axel holding the Intercontinental Championship. We could be on the golden age of both of those championships. Really hope that lasts. Curtis sells it like it means something because it's Father's Day, and so his dad's looking down from heaven, if there's such a place, which there clearly isn't. But he sells it like it means something, and that is good. We get a vid to saying that Mark Henry will be back tomorrow night on Raw. Whoop-de-doo. And then in the back, Axel and Paul Heyman bump into Triple H and Vince. Vince congratulates him and says, Axel versus Triple H. You feeling it? Triple H just says he's not feeling it and fucks off. It's the only time he's on this pay-per-view. Nice. AJ then defeated Kaitlyn to win the Divas title in a good match. Now, excuse me, I may not have reviewed it, but I did actually watch I went to say WCW though. TNA I'm an idiot. Why'd you watch my vids? They're so poor. TNA Slammiversary. I watched it, didn't bother reviewing it because it was at the time when I had no internet, which meant I couldn't do any vids. In case anyone's wondering, I didn't say it on my latest vids because the part of series is, and you don't want to be going back to the series in a year's time watching it again. What the fuck's he talking about? He had no internet. So if anyone's wondering, it's just in case anyone's wondering. I didn't do a Raw review this week. I'm sure I said something like this on my predictions vid actually, but no, man. I watched Slammiversary, and my match of the night was the match between Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim. I guarantee that when me and my friend Alex watched it together, Alex came round, I'm like, come on, tell me this card, because I don't watch TNA, and I don't look at spoilers, so if there's a TNA pay-per-view on a Sunday night, and I'm going to watch it on the Wednesday night, I don't know anything about it, believe it or not, it's just all good. So I'm like, come on, watch the card, I'm going through the card, and he's like, there's only one match I'm really not asked about, I'm like, which is a last Diva standing match between Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim. It's like, we'll probably skip that one. So then that match came round, and we actually ended up watching it, and it was fucking superb. And so this match, this one here, this was a good match. Emotionally, this one was better than it. This one had more emotion going into it, even though the storyline between Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell, or Taryn Terrell, I don't care what her name is in any way, shape or form. If I'm saying it wrong, me. But both storylines had emotion going into it. I preferred the one from TNA. This was still a perfectly satisfactory match. Kaitlyn had a chance to win after hitting a great looking spear, but decided to sort of blow AJ a kiss instead of getting the pin. And then there was a side effect counted into that octopus stretch that I really liked. It was octopus stretch that gets the win for AJ. Kaitlyn cries as a result, which is a nice, I think it's a nice little touch. They show a close-up of her, there's a real tear running down her face, and it's all quite touching, until you realise that the crowd are chanting, "You tapped out at her," quite venomously. Layla helps her to the back, and it's all nice, and yada 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 yada. I've got to be honest here. I've just got to be honest for a moment. I think Kaitlyn may be. I mean, I know Ripper a lot because I'm not a fan of her matches, but Kaitlyn may be my favourite diva at the moment, just because she doesn't look like a generic diva. She looks like a woman. She's got some curves to her. I actually really like her hair as well for some reason. I don't know. Shut up, Mark. In the back, Alicia Fox and Natalya try to comfort Kaitlyn, and then we get a Money in the Bank build-up package, and then we go to a Skybox type thing where the post and pre-show guys are doing it. It's not that Rennie Young girl who did it last time. Incidentally, she's on the... I hope I've got her name right. She's on the new 25 Greatest Rivalries DVD on the documentary part of it, and I think she does a great job, by the way. Yeah, but it's Big Slow, R-Truth, and Cody Rhodes are the guys, the experts. This time they talk about what's happened so far. And then, in my opinion, I may get a bit of heat for this one, but in my opinion, the weakest match of the night was Dean Ambrose defeating Kane via countout to retain the United States Championship. This match for me just felt really flat. The crowd didn't really seem to be asked about it in the sides. For example, when Kane hit a nice power slam, a really nice power slam, no reaction from the crowd whatsoever. Match just felt like it didn't get going very much for me. And, Ambrose still looked alright. And, both of them looked alright, but it was, there's nothing satisfactory out of it. In fact, the only satisfactory part of it for me was the finish, which was which Ambrose hit a DDT on the outside. That meant that Kane was counted out. And, I've got no issue with that finish, believe it or not. And, it's just, like I say, match didn't really do anything for me. We get a video package for some guy called Rob Van Dam. He's back at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, sir. Money in the Bank. There we go. Got there in the end. And I'm going to say this straight away, before he has done anything yet, RVD is going to have to win me over this time round. Because I tell you this much, I said so many times when he was in the WWE, it's just the same match over and over and over and over again, And then, he went to TNA, and where he had the chance to do new stuff and did exactly the same match. It's just always the same. Any RVD match from his WWE tenure is just exactly the same moves in exactly the same order. Just don't interest me. Rob Van Dam is going to have to really impress me here. So, I'm going to say that now, but I'm not going to get caught up in the matches. But at the same time, I will remember this. I will remember seeing this, and I will definitely say, if he impresses me, look, I said this at that time, and I was wrong. Okay, how's that sound? Alberto Del Rio defeating Dolph Ziggler in a great match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. I really enjoyed this one, guys. Ricardo does the ring announcing in English, which just doesn't sound right. One of these all too rare matches where they are literally given a storyline on a plate and they follow it to the letter. And, nice, easy wrestling. 101, sorry. Wrestling 101. If you guys were coming back from a concussion, you go for the head. Alberto Del Rio could work for the arm, setting up for the cross arm breaker, but he doesn't. The whole match, he focuses on the head, doing some evil kicks, and it's the type of psychology that I love about a match because it's so easy to follow along. Guy's got head injury, work the head. It's that simple. Little things about this one though, I mean, it's little tiny things. AJ Lee, for example, in my opinion, was absolutely perfect in this match. I mean, genuinely perfect. She was good in her match with Kaitlyn, but of course she's a fucking nutcase as well. That's the character she plays. For example, I didn't mention this a moment ago, in the women's match, she hits a drop kick off the apron, and the way she cackles after it was just magnificent. In this match, no. It was basically, watching this match felt like you were looking at this match through AJ's eyes. And what I mean by that is that all times she was concerned for her man. She wasn't being a dick or anything like that. When Dolph lost, she wasn't like, I can't believe you've lost. She was looking at her man with legitimate concern. And the more kicks that Alberto Del Rio did to Dolph Ziggler's head, the more you could see AJ getting more and more concerned, And then at one point when a doctor came out to check on Dolph, and Dolph, his selling in this match world class. He looked like he was completely out of it. And AJ, his bird, who is basically telling you, just give it up. Just give it up. And she doesn't care that that means that he's going to lose the championship. She's just concerned about her man. And you just like watching this go, this is perfect. This is so very good. There was a couple of botches. Del Rio especially, he did the rocker dropper, didn't look pretty. But yeah, there's a heel turn in there. It looked like there was a double turn in this match. Del Rio, as soon as he came out, was getting booed. So he worked heel the whole match. He healed it. He did some nasty, nasty kicks. And the whole time, Ziggler's selling, and the way that the storyline was being done looked like Dolph Ziggler was turning face. And it was brilliant. Really, really liked it. Dolph took all he could. He even hit a zigzag out of nowhere, but then one last big kick to the face, and down he went. And we've got a new champion. Some people will probably moan about this one, because Dolph won the Money in the Bank, cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and then loses it on his first defence. But of course, he's had this concussion storyline, and I think it works if they're going to turn him into a babyface, because Dolph's selling, I think, honestly, Dolph selling, the way that it's got now, is just perfect for a babyface. I think, there's a good way. I think he can do good work if they give him the ball and he's allowed to run with it. I really think if they turn face here. We go to the expert to get up in the Sky Dome, but Sky Booth, whatever it's called. But ADR comes out again to gloat, which makes you wonder why he really left. And like I say, he gets a fair amount of boos. And then, in the match that we all came to see, did we not? CM Punk defeating Chris Jericho in another great match. I gave that last match 4 stars, which may surprise you. And I'm going to give this one 4 stars as well. So look at CM Punk's sideburns. Fantastic. Naturally, Punk's pop is absolutely fucking massive. What else would it be? They spend a long time on the mat, with Punk especially working the arm of Jericho. There's one little criticism. You can probably imagine that Jericho then completely no-sells it for the rest of the match. It's like, well, that was pointless, wasn't it? After that, though, they did a nice little sequence where they got the walls locked in and Punk was able to reverse it while Jericho was still holding on to him, put the Anaconda Vice on. That was really nice. And then this is one of those times where I give Michael Cole a lot of shit. I give Lawler a lot of shit. I give JBL shit more than I don't. I give the other two shit because they're morons most of the time. Some of the stuff that they come out with of their mouths is such stupid. But this time I'm going to give them props because, the way they brought out the storytelling in this match, which was that, is CM Punk rusty? He's had 2 months off. Is Jericho just going to be that one step ahead of him? Is he doubting himself? And those little, they sowed the seeds like that, which made you more drawn into the match. They didn't need to do the classic "I'm going to work the body part" storyline. It was completely different from that point on. Big pop for a near fall as Punk hits a savage elbow and a go to sleep. Jericho kicked out at 2. Jericho heals it up with some really nasty elbows to the head. If you ever watched Ring of Honor when Bryan Danielson was there, one of his moves was weakening him down with just lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of elbows. That was fantastic. Jericho counters a Rana into Walls of Jericho. As Punk tries to escape, he's able to hold on and turns it into a half crab, which, remember what I was just saying about the commentators, Lawler calls a half Nelson because he's a fucking moron. It's one of those. Punk is able to escape though, hits a go to sleep that's so hard it makes Jericho bounce off the rope, so he comes back, so hits another go to sleep, and that's what's get the win. I really, really enjoyed the storytelling of this match. I like the fact there's a little tiny bit of tension at the end. Did you see? Punk sat on the mat and turns around to Heyman and says something along the lines, "I could have done this by myself." And now, there's a tiny little thing that you might not have even noticed. There could be people watching this now going, "I didn't spot that," because I do it, a lot of the time, so it's all good. And then, so 2 4-star matches. So already, you're on for a fucking good pay-per-view. Bear in mind the ratings that have gone before it. 2 matches left, though, as Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns defeating Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton in a good match to retain the tag titles. This is a 3-star match, the second one of the show. Oh yeah, the opener's 2.5. If you want to give it 3, I can give you that one. I love how this was structured. This was a nice, simple match, really. Bryan gets lots of good stuff in at the start, tags into Orton. Orton, gets a couple of his moves in, like, the draping DDT, but then plays face in peril for quite a while before he can get the hot tag to Daniel Bryan, who cleans house and makes me a happy, happy boy because he gets a butterfly suplex off the top rope. Like, yay! Like that one. That was so good. The stomp on Daniel Bryan that got the win, absolutely fantastic. Daniel Bryan, yeah, if CM Punk hadn't been here, Daniel Bryan would have been the hottest guy in the building by a country mile. They need to put the title on him. Of course, if they do that, the only way really to do it is to make him heel, and that's not going to happen. So it's one of those things, isn't it? I don't know where to go from here. And then John Cena defeating Ryback in an all right 3 stages of the Hell match. I mean, it was all right. Yeah, the usual loud reaction from Cena, half cheer and half boo, and the usual dueling chants throughout the match. Yeah, good. Good storytelling from both men, as they're chucking them to the outside onto the lumberjacks. But then Cena decides, after chucking Ryback to the outside, where everyone just turns into this massive brawl, that Cena's going to jump onto everyone, which is nice, I suppose. Back inside, Cena goes for an STF, but Ryback picks him up, hits a shell shock through hits a shell shock to get, I don't know why I was trying to say through a table then. Hits a shell shock, that gets the 2, so that's the first fall. The second fall is a tables match, right? Which most of the time, Ryback spends putting ring steps through tables, which is lovely. John Cena is able to hit an attitude adjustment through a table to get the second fall. And then the third fall, which is an ambulance match, starts off with John Cena getting powerbombed through the announce table, which should have just been it, game over. But of course, it's Super Cena, and he just shrugs it off like it's nothing because he doesn't show any vulnerability ever. Because he's a fucking idiot. The fans start chanting Goldberg at him at Ryback, as they do. So to prove that he's not Goldberg, he goes up to the ambulance and punches one of the windows through. It's like, yep, Goldberg did that, didn't he? He was out for like 8 months, something ridiculous like that. Then Ryback starts destroying the ambulance, yeah? For example, he opens the door, tries to Irish whip John Cena into it, but he gets countered to Ryback. Ryback, he goes through the door, and the door comes off so easy. Bear in mind, my first car, I almost wrote it off by, I left the door open, right, and reversed, and it went into another car and snapped back like that. The amount of force that went into it was quite a lot, and so this just looked like it just fell off. He then pulled off one of the wings. That came off so easily. The thing is, while all this is happening, and Cena got the lights off the top of the ambulance and started using those. For every time this happened, the commentators started laughing, and at one point they laughed for quite a while some quite significant stuff was going on. Why should we care if the commentators don't give a fuck? Cena hits an AA off through the top of the ambulance, Starcade 2000 style, with Awesome and Bam Bam Bigelow, I think it was. He just bam! And then Cena, of course, is Cena. He completely no-sells it, makes his way to the ring with the belt. Signs autographs, shakes people's hands, happy days. Fuck it, I've just gone through 3 stages of hell, but I'm perfectly alright. Don't care at all. Let's do it this way. You can give the opener 3 stars if you want, because I think on reflection, I think I'm going to. So 3-star matches, right, 2 of them. A decent women's match, 2 4-star matches, a decent tag team title match, and an alright, about as good as you're expecting main event, meaning that this, ladies and gentlemen, is probably one of the best pay-per-views there's ever been. Certainly pay-per-view of the year, and genuinely don't think there's going to be much that can top this one. I genuinely don't. There was 2 really good matches in there, and then 2 3-star matches. Well, I mean, there's 4 matches on this show that are worth looking at, right? The Divas match is one of the best I've seen in a long, long time. And like I say, Ambrose versus Kane may have been you may have really enjoyed that match. It just didn't do it for me. The same can be applied for the main event, though. I was sat there watching it. I was watching it with my, come on, entertain me, please entertain me. I know this is going to be shit, but I'm going to give you that chance. And it was still just like, it was everything I was expecting. It was never going to be I was hoping for a 3-star because I thought maybe the crowd might buoy this one up a bit, but they just didn't give a fuck about it enough. And where does Ryback go after this? Because that's what 5 championship matches that he's lost. Where can the character possibly go from this? If they keep him chasing down the championship, it's like, what's the point? And also, where does Punk go from here? And of course, who's going to step up next and be seen as next challenger at Money in the Bank? All interesting, means that I will be watching Raw tonight. As always, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of WWE Payback? I really enjoyed it. Genuinely. That's one of those shows, right? I know when I'm watching a good show. Let me tell you, this is how I know when I'm watching a good show. When I put it on, yes, you've got a motorbike. Whoop-de-doo. I know it's a good show when I put it on, and the next thing I know, I'm in the main event, and you look at the clock and like, 2.5 hours have gone past and you didn't even notice them going past. There are times when you watch a pay-per-view and it drags and drags and drags and drags, but this one was not one of those at all. I really, really enjoyed it. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. I may not reply to all of them, but I read every single one. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I'll be back tomorrow with a Raw review. Take it easy, guys, and thank you very much for watching. See you soon, boys.